My childhood best friend wants me to break up with my boyfriend so she can date him. I, 22 female, know my best friend 21 female since we were 4. We were like sisters, always together, doing everything together. Since our parents are friends, we could hang out every weekend. She was pretty and always with the best clothes, and her style is awesome. So when we were in high school, she had all the boys begging to go on a date with her. I used to get very insecure with myself when I was around her, but I don't blame her for anything. It's not her fault she is beautiful. But whenever I gave her a hint I was liking someone, she would say how I had no chance with them, that I should give up, and then after some time, she would date them for some time. I never had any boy wanting something with me. I always had to hear ew when someone mentioned dating me. I met my boyfriend 23 male last year in April. We were really good friends. I never introduced him to my best friend because I didn't want her to take all his attention. I was liking him in the beginning. Then after some time he asked me out and we are dating for 6 months now. 2 weeks ago my friend and I had a sleepover at her house and she caught me texting my boyfriend on my phone. She asked me who he was and I told him he's my boyfriend. She laughed and asked me since when I had a boyfriend. I didn't want to give her too much details about my relationship. So I just told her we've been dating for 6 months now and I talked about something else so we could end that conversation. Apparently, that night when I went to sleep, she grabbed my phone. She knew my password because when her phone was dying and she wanted to call someone, she would pick it up. And she went to his Instagram where he got her user and texted him. She never told me anything. I just found out when my boyfriend sent me a screenshot and asked who she was. I was shocked by the messages she sent. There were things like, "Hey, are you Opie's boyfriend? You look really nice. Are you sure you date her?" She even commented in a picture he took at a gym, saying how hot he looks when he's sweaty. My boyfriend wasn't happy about that. He thought I gave her his user, but I explained I didn't, and I started crying like the little baby I am. I told him how she always dated every boy I liked, and how insecure I get when she's around. He comforted me and kept telling me that I shouldn't worry about her. He doesn't care about her. I trust him, and after some time, I just decided to ignore what happened. After an hour, she texted me, "Did your boyfriend tell you anything? Did you ask him to block me?" He blocked her, and I didn't even know that. She said that I'm being the jealous girlfriend type. I explained I never asked him to block her, but she didn't believe me. She made 3 fake accounts to text him. I know, because he told me everything. It even showed me all the texts where she was texting him multiple times. He was leaving her on red and blocking her after some time. After the 3rd account she made, she came into my house and complained that he doesn't talk to her. I said she was flirting with him, and she knows I date him. Obviously, I was extremely mad at her, but I was trying to act cool, because I was really tired and didn't want to start an argument. She told me that my boyfriend is exactly her type. She loves how he looks, and she needs him. I couldn't believe what she was saying. I thought it was some kind of joke, but it wasn't. Then she said, "He is perfect for me. He is so handsome, and he has nice muscles. I wonder if he has abs." This is when I lost my temper and told her to stop flirting with him or complimenting these things since he is my boyfriend. She called me mean and an a-hole, yelled at me saying he is her type, and I should break up with him because I'm wasting his time and he could be with someone better, aka her. After some time, she started crying telling me if I were her friend, I would break up with him, saying I'm choosing him over her. He is her type and she wants me to break up with him, but I love him. I can't do something like that. I used to not care when she got the other boys I liked because I didn't have anything to do with them, but now it's my boyfriend. My first boyfriend. The only one who showed some interest on me for who I am. I don't know what to do about her, but I know I won't break up with him. I told him everything she said and he is mad like I am. I'm just tired of her. I don't know what to do. Should I end a 10+ years friendship? Now for the top comments. Do you even like her? Or did you become friends with her because your parents are friends? In the beginning, we were good friends. She was nice before, but she changed a lot since we entered high school. Why are you still friends with her? Exactly this, OP. She is not your friend. She demeans you. She's trying to steal your boyfriend. She calls you names. Why need enemies with friends like her? End a relationship. I promise you, coming from someone who recently ended a friendship with someone who was not a good person or friend, you will feel so much lighter and happier. Trust me. I kept her friendship for so long because when I tried to get away from her, my parents and her parents were putting pressure on me to talk to her again. That's not a friend. She wants to one-up you all the time. Must be exhausting to have to be around her when all she does is nag and bring OP down. It's not even that this friend tries to one-up her all the time. The friend actively insults her, tries to take anything OP wants away from her, and goes behind her back to try to flirt with OP's boyfriend. This friend has some serious issues and is stomping all over OP like she isn't even a person. Screw this friend. Next story. I have just been betrayed by the two people I trusted most, and I don't know what to feel anymore. Plus update. Original post. I'm sorry if this is annoying. I can't stop thinking about it. And for some reason, I feel more secure venting it to strangers rather than people who know me and can judge me more in depth. I won't lie, I have been suspecting my fiancé was having an affair, but I didn't have any solid evidence to accuse him. Even then, I had a feeling that I didn't want to dig any deeper because I was scared that what I was suspecting was true. 12 days ago, I came home from visiting my mom's and I headed upstairs to wake my fiancé as he had a habit of sleeping in way past 2 p.m. and then complained that I didn't wake him up. I opened the door, and all I see is my practically naked sister rushing to try and get out of a lingerie bodysuit that belonged to me. I don't know how to explain it, but my mind just went blank. Like whatever I was thinking about beforehand suddenly disappeared. You know, when you stand up too fast and your head just gets a little dizzy? That's what I felt, alongside a feeling of sickness brewing in my stomach. I stood there for a solid 30 seconds, looking at the two people I trusted the most look more shocked than I felt. My fiancé jumped out of bed and suddenly came up with excuses. It went from "it was an accident" to "I was lonely and needed relief." I probably should add that my best friend ended herself 2 weeks ago. The girl I knew for over 15 years was suddenly out of my life. And even though I'm surrounded by people, I've told my fiancé about how alone, devastated, and guilty that I couldn't do anything to help her. I just left. I didn't take my car because at that point my eyes were about to just started flooding. I walked to my friend's house about 10 minutes away and confided in her about what happened. The amount of grief I felt from not only losing a best friend, but losing my relationships with my fiancé and sister within the same 2-week period. Now that I'm sitting down to write this, I don't know if any of these relationships will ever be mended or could ever go back to the way they were. I don't understand why my sister of all people would do this. There was never any favoritism toward any of us for her to feel spite. I have never intentionally tried to hurt her. I gave her shelter when she had no place to go, and despite her not paying a single penny, I bought her food that she liked, made sacrifices in my own home for her. Hell, she kept ranting about how our living room walls gave her headache as they were painted white, so I took time out of my day to paint it a nice gray color. My fiancé too. I gave that man everything. I was willing to have kids with him despite the fact I always wanted to be child-free. I was going to start a family so that he was happy. I gave him comfort whenever something bad happened to him. I spent hours watching and funny movies that he seemed to find hilarious. I even gave him a freaking locket with our anniversary photo in that he decided to wear while sticking it in my sister. These last days, I've went from sadness to being angry, then disgusted, and it's a constant cycle I've not been able to get out of. Despite being smoking-free for 2 years, I've picked up a cigarette. I used to be heavily addicted to smoking from 16 to 21. I'm currently 23. There's the moments when I go to do something but automatically lose interest. At even times over dinner, I don't know how to explain it properly as I've never felt this way, but I'm bored of eating. I have to physically force myself to eat something, and I have no idea what's going on to my body at this very moment. For some reason, it feels as if I've went into hibernation. I sleep almost 17 hours a day now, and even for the rest of those hours, I'm still tired and force myself to stay awake. Both of them asked to meet up on Wednesday. My sister's exact message was, "Hey, I know you probably don't want to hear from me right now, but can you meet me at Fiancé? We want to talk and we want you to properly hear us out. The situation you found us in was not the most ideal situation to put you in a good headspace to talk about it right there and then. Please let us explain. I love you, and you're my sister and I don't want to lose you. Please." I think it's too late. It was too late from whenever this affair started or even when you started having desires for my fiancé. I miss my sister, but according to what I saw, the sister I miss and whoever my sister is now are not the same person. I haven't talked to anyone yet except the one friend I'm currently staying with at the moment. I'm scared I'll be seen as a failure of a future wife, but now I don't even think I want to be a wife anymore. But I guess I'd rather share to strangers than people who know me personally. I apologize again. Now for the top advice before reading the update. You have nothing to apologize for, and nothing to be ashamed about. None of this was your fault. You've suffered a horrible betrayal by a family member and a partner. Again, none of this was your fault. To hell with your ex-fiancé. To hell with your sister. No amount of apologies or excuses should smooth over a betrayal of this magnitude. Can you move out to a more permanent location? Can your friend help you pick up your things? Have you considered speaking to your family about this? And again, none of this is your fault. And nobody's going to fault you for not being able to be the best right now. Lean on the other people in your life right now if you can. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but you can pull through this. Honestly, I've not thought about my plan so far. The house we lived in I inherited from my grandma, so as far as I know, I can kick both of them out. Though I'm not well versed in a lot of legal stuff, so I'm currently trying to take a look at my options in case I need a lawyer or anything like that. As for my family, I haven't said a word yet. I've not really spoken to anyone except the friend I'm currently staying at. I plan to tell them eventually about everything though. I'm just trying to better myself mentally before telling anyone else. Just serve them an eviction notice, then send your family a message or mail that explained what happened, with the messages these two trash sent you as proof. And now for the update. Hi, me again. I'm back in editing the post. At first, I was just going to dump this vent to get it out of my mind, but I want to say thank you for everyone's advice. I guess this counts as a small update? I'm not sure. So far, nothing big has really happened. The friend I'm staying with has offered to come with me to talk to my parents about this, also including my older brother. She's honestly been my rock through this whole situation, and I couldn't ask for a better support system from one person, though I don't plan on putting that on her shoulders since it would be stressful to be the designated support system friend. I'm currently looking into therapy for both my grief and the affair. I'm not well versed legally wise, so I'm currently in the process of looking for a lawyer just so legally I know I'm in the clear in case there's a loophole somewhere. I did contact my sister, and another copy-pasted message I replied, I don't plan on meeting with you on Wednesday. I'll talk to you when I'm ready, and whether it be tomorrow or years from now, it doesn't matter. You both owe me my own time to heal. After the two people I've trusted most went behind my back, betrayed my trust, all under my roof that you both lived rent-free. Bye. I can't lie. I was almost ready to tell her to meet me there, and then when she sent that message, I've realized, and through help of people in the comments that I can't thank enough, that I need time to work on myself mentally rather than repair a long-gone relationship with my sister. No, I don't plan on going back to my ex and never will. Maybe one day I'll hear him out, but today is not a day. As for now, I'm getting ready to try and explain to my parents everything that happened. I don't have any evidence between my ex and sister, however, I do have their messages they sent me that incriminates them. But anyways, thank you for all the advice and kind comments and messages. Have a good day or night. Last story. Turns out my husband lied about his affair being over. I found about the affair 3.5 years ago. I was completely shocked and heartbroken. My husband swore it was a mistake. He said he would end the affair, never have contact with her again, and do anything else to prove to me that he was committed to changing. That he was willing to go to therapy and couples counseling and whatever else it took. I took him back because I loved him and because I thought it would be better for our kids. It was hell, but we got through it. He did go to therapy and we did couples counseling. He put monitoring software on his internet and his phone so I could see everything he was doing. He made sure all his time out of the house was accounted for. He also seemed to be more invested in our marriage and spending time together. Just being more attentive and like it was when we first got married. Even though he never neglected our kids, he was more present with them. He told me that the thought of losing me and not seeing our kids every day was a wake-up call to how stupid and reckless he was. And after almost 2 years, I stopped feeling the need to monitor his phone and know where he was every second he wasn't with me. He was still attentive and things were good. It turns out he never stopped the affair like he said. I caught him again. He just had another phone I didn't know about, and he got creative in finding ways to spend time with her. She knew he was married and had 3 kids before their affair started, and that they had to be extra careful after I caught him the first time. I'm just here to spill my guts, really. I'm not staying again. He made a fool out of me once. We have 2 sons, both aged 13, and a daughter, aged 12. And I have no idea how I'm supposed to break the news of the divorce to them, or to anyone else. Thankfully, I have a job that pays enough to look after me and the kids so I can leave him. It won't be complicated in terms of assets because we each will get half. The only thing up in the air is child support and custody arrangements. His affair won't be a factor for that, but that's the only thing that isn't certain. Anyways, thanks to anyone who read my word vomit. I'm going to therapy, I think, but for now, this helped. I wouldn't hide his affair from kids. Not in a vengeful way, but most of the time, kids blame the betrayed parent for their divorce as they initiate it. So don't put yourself on fire to hide his affair. I don't know how or what I have to tell them yet. I need to talk to a therapist first. I don't know if they will need one after this, but I don't want to do this the wrong way. Talk to your lawyer as well. If you disclose the affair without talking about them, his lawyer can claim you're trying to alienate them. My lawyer was the one who recommended I talk to a therapist before I tell my sons and daughter. I was going to anyways, but my lawyer has affirmed that decision. There was a case here where the fact that he was forgiven once was a factor on the divorce proceedings being a no fault, instead of because of an affair. I'm just hoping you don't live where that will become an issue for you to regain peace. Hopefully, you and your children will regain that peace you all need. I also believe the kids will need their own therapist to process this, and I hope he pays for that. That is the same case for me. I reconciled with him previously, so I can't use his cheating in the divorce now nor use it to get a better settlement. My divorce will be no fault. Talk to an attorney first. Husband might be hiding money as well. And who knows what he will do financially when he finds out it's over. As a cheater, he has most likely envisioned several exit scenarios for it, / when he is caught. I have hired a lawyer already, and my husband knows he is caught, and that I'm not staying again. He tried to convince me to stay though. My 23 male, horrible family contacted me after years because they wanted me to help them. Let me start this by saying that this entire situation was overwhelming for many different reasons. When I grew up, my parents and my sister treated me badly through my entire childhood. Because while my sister, who is 2 years older than me, was an intended child, I wasn't. And they exactly treated me this way while they spoiled her rotten. Going into details about my childhood is something I want to avoid, but I guess it doesn't hurt me to give you an impression. My parents treated me more like a slave, as I had to do all of the chores when I came home from school, and I slept in the guest room on a dirty couch, while my sister had a big room with a big bed. They even invented a 2-class meal system for me and my sister, where I was only allowed to eat let alone sit down at a table when they and her were done eating. Meaning, basically I ate their leftovers. They were also physically harming me, as my mom and dad loved to beat me whenever something from the chores wasn't done correctly. My sister was no better. I wasn't a sibling to her, more like a housemaid. She loved bullying me at school and at home. She even told lies to the only friends I had so they wouldn't like me anymore. She told them I was talking bad behind their backs. Any explanation attempt failed, so for the most part, I was alone during my childhood that was filled with tears and pain. When I turned 18, they kicked me out of the house and they probably didn't expect what came next. I completely cut any contact and built my life for myself. I found my first real job, and from that point on, my life only went forward, and I never wanted to look back ever again. My life got better and better, as I then gotten a much better paying job. Now I was able to afford an apartment. My life went well, and I became a high supervisor in the company I worked for. Remembering my parents' jobs, I probably make more each month than both of them combined. And since I lived alone in a quite modest apartment, my income far exceeded my financial expenses, meaning that I was able to save a lot of money. Before I explain what happened now, I need to mention that my sister had a condition from an early age. As I am not an immature a-hole, I won't go into any details about it. This is a matter that only concerns my sister and her doctor, and maybe my parents. I respect that and don't interfere, but I still have to mention it for this story to make sense. Okay, fast forward to a few months ago. I received a call from an unknown number. I haven't talked to them for quite a while, so I didn't recognize the voice at first, but it was my mother. When I realized who it was, I just wanted to hang up, but I think she saw that coming and begged me to not hang up and let her explain why she called. She slowly started to apologize and ask if we could meet. She said I don't have to talk to her. She just wants me to listen to what she has to say. I honestly still don't know how she found out my phone number. Whatever. I agreed since I had 2 weeks off from my work anyway, and honestly, she's really good at persuading people. Besides that, I had a plan. Well, we agreed to meet at a local cafe the next week. And when they came, I was surprised to see my father there too. When they saw me, both of them smiled at me widely and hugged me tight. I pushed them away and told them I'm not comfortable with this, and they apologized immediately. This was strange, really strange. They never behaved this way towards me, and I felt something was off, and I asked them to tell me why they want to talk to me. The next hour was them explaining how sorry they are, and how deeply they regret treating me the way they did. It was so awkward, but then they finally got to the point. My mom explained that my sister still lived with them and that her condition got way worse. She needs a specific surgery that would help her, but her health care is so expensive for them that they cannot afford it while having to deal with the other expenses. And the longer they wait, her condition would get worse, and it would get more expensive. What they basically told me was they were in a financial downward spiral. They told me that their insurance company refuses to cover the surgery, so they have to find another solution. They told me that they saw a photo of a company meeting at my company on Facebook that a coworker had shared, and I also was on the photo, so they figured that I was now successful. Honestly, I don't like that word. It sounds so snobby. Then said they know they have no right to ask me for this, but they asked if I could help them financially. I stayed quiet the whole time, and when they were done explaining, I asked them to meet my sister. Surprisingly, she was in a hospital, and that is also why she couldn't come too. She had a separate room, and when she saw me, she also smiled with delight. You guys understand why I still think this was super awkward and weird, right? However, we talked a bit, and I asked her and my parents why I should help them. I wanted to confront all of them at the same time. I just talked and released all the suppressed emotions at once. I told every one of them how much they hurt me over the years and all the horrible things they did to me. I also knew that I had the power of their fate in my hands now. When I was done with everything, I just left the room without looking back. And you can't imagine how good I felt getting all of this off my chest. And then I decided to actually play the power move. I did something that probably none of them expected. Yes, I actually paid for surgery. A surgery that could possibly make her condition stable for a very long time. I could have decided right there and then to never look back and just let her rot. But instead, I decided to help them. I think that this was way more powerful. I also knew that this would probably make them feel way more guilty and regretful for what they did to me. I had seen Schindler's List a few weeks before all of that happened. I'm not lying when I say that a famous quote from Oskar Schindler inspired me to do this. That power is when we have every justification to kill and we don't. I asked a young doctor to go into their room now and tell them that the surgery would be paid. I then left the hospital and drove home. My sister texted me and said that she's so thankful that I did this for her, that she feels so horrible for treating me how she had treated me, blah blah blah. Where are we? In a drama series? The same texts also came from my parents. By the way, the surgery went well. I feel in peace with myself. I feel good. Till today, they often text me and ask if we could meet. What an interesting turn of events. Edit. For those who don't understand the power move, if I would have just left my sister to rot in her hospital bed, I wouldn't be any better than them. Me paying proves I will always be the better person. I know who I am, and I know that helping her was the right thing to do, even if some of you might not agree. Because even after all the trauma and pain they inflicted on me, I still am a good person who was able to keep his humanity, unlike them. If this makes you think they won, then I don't know what to tell you. And guys, don't need to worry. I'm going to block them soon, as I'm not ready to reconcile in the near future. I just want to see how hard they're gonna try to get my attention again. Now for the top comments. You do know that unless you block them, they will keep making demands and ask for money. Who said I'm gonna give it to them? You already did, OP. But then if it helps you on your path to healing, then why not? Nope, I didn't pay for the surgery because they demanded it, but to prove that I am better than they ever will be. I don't feel the need to treat people like trash. Brace yourself for the many surgeries, or things they're gonna ask you for from now on. If you think that they feel more guilty or whatever, you are wrong. Now they think you're free game, and would mooch off you because you are a good person who still craves his family's attention. If you think this is the end, you are so wrong. The surgery was a real thing. I made sure it was. And they haven't asked for anything in the last months. They only asked for me to meet them, and I told them they won't get anything more from me. Next story. My pregnant ex keeps trying to move into my apartment, plus many updates. Original post. This is my friend's story that I'm posting for him because he doesn't have an account and wants people to hear about this. Also, for convenience sake, I'm going to write this in first-person point of view because pronouns are hard to keep up with. So I, 21 male, have an ex, Angelica, 20 female. Angelica and I had an on and off relationship since we were about 15, but got serious when COVID hit and I had to move back to my hometown. We got an apartment together, and very soon after, she started spending a lot of time with her cousin. Long story short, she's boning her fake cousin, and we break up. We've been broken up 9 months at this point. For 7 of those months, her phone has been on my phone bill, and she owes me over $500. Fine, whatever. I'll never see that $500, and she always makes excuses to pay me back. That's life. My own fault for letting her keep using me as a cash cow. She also took my car when we broke up, and I let her because I was too afraid she would try to take my apartment too. Anyway, it's 9 months past our breakup. I get a message. Hey, I'm pregnant. I'm on my way home from work, so I don't respond. That is 9 months past being my problem. It is not my baby. She messages me again. My boyfriend, the one she cheated on me with, and I have nowhere to stay. Still, 9 months past my problem. Angelica has never worked a day in her life. She lives off the disability check from her boyfriend and spends 99% of it on weed and fast food. She never paid rent and is documented to never pay rent. Anyway, she tells me, my name is still on the lease. We're going to move in September. I tell her, your name is not on the lease. It was renewed last month and I took your name off. I'm sorry. She messages me calling me an a-hole and saying she's moving in because she has nowhere for her baby and 3 dogs to stay. Mind you, my apartment is more like a studio and barely fits me, let alone 2 other people and 3 dogs. I tell her it's not happening. I'm moving out of town soon anyway. Also to come pick up her things that she's left at my apartment for 9 months. She says no, and that if I throw it away, she's going to press charges. I tell her it doesn't matter, because when I move, I'm throwing it away. She later called my landlord and told him I was planning to move out. I got upset at this and told her I ran the numbers on a car as it's still in my name. Get the car out of my name now, or I'm repossessing it, or she can leave me the heck alone. She started bawling on a call asking how could I do this to her and her unborn child, and I was condemning her and her child to be homeless. She also still has a firearm in my name that I told her to give back or I'm calling the cops. I'm really considering repossessing the car since it was mine from the start and is still in my name. She doesn't deserve to get a free car handed to her. She needs to wake up. She keeps saying she needs a place to stay, that I'm ruining her and her baby's life. It's literally my apartment that she has never once paid rent on. I don't know how she thinks she's entitled to just live in my apartment with the guy she cheated on me with, and 3 dogs. I hope the baby ends up okay. It's not his fault its mother is a spoiled brat. But I also hope being homeless and carless wakes her the heck up. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Dude, your friend needs to file several police reports, like yesterday. First and foremost, for the firearm that she has in her possession that's registered in his name. If he hasn't reported it stolen and she uses it in any kind of crime, he's gonna get charges on him for not keeping track of it at the very least. And the car. Who has the title? Did he sign it over to her? If not, that needs to be reported stolen as well. Yep, this dude's life is about to get freaking wrecked. OP needs to sit down with him and write it all down in a to-do list and check off every one of those boxes from most important to last. The ex can really mess his life up. Granted, she isn't smart, but could easily Google a how-to. Yes, and the list as follows. 1. Call the police and report the car as stolen. 2. Ditto and report the weapon as stolen. 3. Get her off the phone plan if he hasn't already. 4. File a small claims court case for the $500. 5. Make sure all paperwork for the dog comes back to you alone. 6. Get a restraining order or stay-away order of protection from your local court. Use the stolen firearm and car and threats against your home and pet as the reasons. 7. Sit back and watch your world burn. Your friend is a doormat and really dumb. That's what I've been telling him too. Why hasn't he canceled the phone? $500? Why let it get that far? Poor sap. I hope she doesn't ruin him for the good women out there. You need to ditch the friend. He's going to drag you down with him. Nah, we don't live near each other. Very limited contact except over the phone. He's just a really nice guy, but also stupid and a doormat. Thanks though. Now for the mini updates. My friend said his ex is coming to pick up her stuff tomorrow and return the weapon. If he gets shot, I'll let you guys know, I guess. Update 2. Her and her boyfriend, the fake cousin, came to my friend's apartment, returned a gun, and picked up her stuff. Her boyfriend then proceeded to wave his own firearm around and demand to be put back on the lease. Not how that works. My friend called the cops, and they booked it out of there before the cops arrived. I'm not sure about the rest. Also, no response back from him, so I don't know at this point. Alright, final update. Phone is no longer on the phone bill, her stuff is out of his apartment, his gun is returned, dog is in his possession, still no car. He said it's not worth it at this point. My friend asked for no charges, so I doubt anything will happen. He said he's cutting her out of his life and going no contact. I'm personally upset about the car, but nothing to do about it now. Last story. I ghosted my ex 10 months ago and I couldn't be more proud of myself. My ex cheated, lied, and had a baby on me. We were supposed to get married and moved in this year. I won't go into too much details because it is in the past now, but the relationship became very toxic. And I've been hiding since then. I think he was used to me always taking him back after being nasty. I didn't know he was cheating or had a baby until we broke up. Even had nudes of a mutual friend. I was too nice. The good girl. I'm not perfect, but I saw myself totally become unrecognizable in this relationship. My mother would even beg me to get out. Anyway, one day he just crossed the line. The usual routine would be that he'd call me after work to discuss the incident, gaslight me, make it all my fault, and I'd say sorry if I wasn't at his place. So on that very day, I kept quiet as normal while he screamed at me in front of his brother and degraded me. I said, okay, thank you. Blocked, deleted him, and changed my number immediately. Ghosted 99% of our mutual friends too. I just cut off the other 1% recently too, for being gossips. I thought I wouldn't last this long. He was expecting me to be like the other women who outed him once he was cheating me on with. Lol. Nope. Not a word or explanation. I know that surprised the heck out of his friends too. They wanted me to be the crazy girlfriend. One of them even told me they were surprised by how calm I handled this. But I couldn't waste my energy on such rubbish and I needed therapy. Anyway, time has gone by so quickly. I've spent most of this year in my flat crying my eyes out because I truly loved him. But I'm ready for 2023 now. No turning back. Say no to toxic people and friends. Wow, that's amazing. You should be proud of your strength. Well done. And you've handled that a-hole with class. Thank you so much. That means a lot. He done me really dirty. And I know he was expecting me to blast him like his other girls. But I just couldn't reduce myself to that. Besides leaving him, not playing his game is what I'm most proud of. Great. He isn't worth your time. You will find someone who deserves you and will treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Thank you. Has he tried to come by or contact you in any other way? Or is he seemingly accepting you blocking him? Good for you. He didn't even try once. It hurt initially, but told me everything I needed to know about him. He could have used so many methods to contact me. Didn't try once. I can't believe I fell in love with such a person. Very eye-opening. He has already moved on. And it's not even with a pregnant woman last I heard.